Well, welcome back. We are back on the police car project, and I have the bumpers right here. And what I think we're going to do today is go ahead and remove these rubber guards that are on the end. This actually attaches to the car itself, the body, and then obviously these are attached to the bumper. And I did kind of show how to remove these the best way I know at the when I took them off, but I'll just kind of show you guys one more time. It looks like I've misplaced my pliers. Let me go grab them real quick. Alright, so I'll try to explain this. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this rubber piece, and these rubber pieces have hardened really quite a bit, and what I'm doing is get an angle on it, and I just want to pull this piece up just enough to stretch it while I try to get it kind of through the hole. And these ones are pretty old. Not tearing them is going to be a little hard, but we'll see if we can pull it off. And we just want to stretch it from this side, but then work it through the hole. And there's that. Kind of pop it through. And that one's barely hanging on there. So then we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to get on the one side, and I'm pulling on this side. I just want to kind of get one of the pieces popped through. And you can see that I can push it right there on the side. And then if you kind of stretch this piece towards you, it's going to loosen it up in the middle. It seems like it would be opposite, but because you're kind of pulling it both directions. But the one piece on bottom, it just stretches this middle piece out right here, and that makes it a little bit thinner so you can pop it out. And we'll do one more here on camera, and then I'll probably speed this up. So let's see if we can get some better light on it for you guys. So there it is. And I'm just going to pop one of the sides through, and then I'm just going to start pulling this direction, and then just push. Maybe someone will have something similar like this that they'll be doing someday. And then stretch. Get my hand back, grip better. And it looks like this piece wants to come through on this side, so stretch it both ways. Get it running through one side. And you can see it's kind of running through that side. So we'll stretch it back this way and pop. There we go. And that's one rubber piece off. And I'll soak these down. We'll get them into some oil, or a lot of times what I'll get them into is just a cleaner that we use for like the cars and things, but we'll use it on here. It's my mind's blanking right now. Anyways, let's get to taking the rest of these off. Awesome. So welcome back. I have the rubber pieces from the bumper, the back bumper here, and the two front bumper pieces. And now what I've always found that works on all the rubber for the Prestige mini motors, the little electric pedal cars, Young Masters, they had different names, is to just thoroughly soak them and Armor All. And so that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to put these in a bucket and I'm going to spray them, and I am just going to, you kind of want to be a little wasteful. You just want to soak them so that they're coated, and I'm actually going to let them dry that way. I'm not going going to wipe them off at all, just going to let them soak. So I'm going to get that started, put it in fast forward mode for you. Welcome back. We are back on the police car project. The rubber is soaking for our bumpers, and now we can work on getting the bumpers cleaned themselves. One thing I did notice on both of these bumpers is they are pretty rusted, and you can see it's all up the top of this one, kind of around on the front, and then definitely on the bottom you can see it as well. And you would expect rust to be closer to the bottom too. And then this is kind of in the same shape as far as the back bumper goes. And so what I want to do is go ahead and get that little bit of rust off there. I know in the past when I've sanded these bumpers to try to get the rust off, it ends up taking the plating off and they end up looking really dull and flat. The same thing I want to say happened when I used the de-ruster on it, and it left it in that really flat, dull appearance. I think what we'll start doing is go ahead and wash them up, give them a light sanding, see if we can get that rust off that top layer without taking off any of the plating. But if not, maybe go ahead and paint them. We could do black or maybe blue to match the car, white, something like that to stand out. But I think that will give us an option if we can't get the rust to come off of here without taking that plating off still. So anyways, glad to be back on the police car project. We are almost done with this one. We're getting close now. So, and we'll continue working on it. Definitely thanks so much for tuning in. Well, I haven't quite polished them, but I cleaned them after I used that 1500 grit, and they came out looking pretty good. I am pretty excited about that. So we will continue. I'll probably polish them up. I still have the rubber soaking. I ended up washing them again, scrubbing them off with the toothbrush all over, and now I'm re-soaking in the Armor All. They were just really crusty and dirty, so I think they just need a little bit more time. So I'm going to continue on these. We'll get them polished up. Once the rubber's ready, we can go ahead and get them back on the car. We are still going to clean off the car. I was looking for some paint to touch up some of the areas, and then we'll be throwing on the window, put the seat into place finally, getting all that set in to where it's going to be. We're going to be putting on the front headlight covers, as well as maybe a few surprises. Anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the video. Well, welcome back. We are back in the room and I have the rubber and the bumpers here, and we're going to see about getting them reattached. Let me switch this camera around. All right, so I had let the rubber sit for quite a few days, and I just kept spraying and letting it dry. It looks a lot better now, and especially, and I've done this one before where I'd sit there and let it sit in the Armor All, and just kind of let it soak. And I've got the little front bumper pieces as well, and they also turned out really nice. So I thought that looked really well. And then our bumpers themselves polished out super great. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and reattach the rubber, which will take us a little bit longer with the back bumper, and then we will attach it on the front. And then they do have side pieces to actually attach to the car. So I'll get the car wiped down on that area, and we'll go ahead and get these back on. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome. So I'll try to do a few of these on camera for you. Whoa. And so these are those same rubber ones. We just gonna put them through, and we'll see, it'll kind of line up over there. And I just line them up on the holes, and then I'll try to stretch this side and just give it a pull. See if I can get some light over here. And just slightly stretch and roll it. And you can stretch it from both sides. That helps as well. it seems odd to pull it in reverse direction, but and just kind of work it through. Try not to rip it. But that arm roll's made it a lot more supple to work with, though. It's not so brittle feeling. But we'll see. We're gonna have to get it lower. You just have to work it from the side. There we go. And it pulled through. So it takes a little patience sometimes. You just got to kind of work it through. We'll see if we can do another one here. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to stretch. You can try to stretch it from both sides. It's a little harder with these middle ones. And then pull it to the side. And then pops through. Stretch it from both sides. Pull it to the side. Almost there. Here we go. And we get through. Cool. So I'm gonna put it in fast forward mode and I'll finish the rest of these real quick. Well, they turned out really nice. I think the rubber looks really good. The metal polished up very nicely. So our next step is getting them onto the little car. Thanks so much for tuning in.